Hey everyone, thanks for checking in back over here at the channel. Well, as promised, I am back out in the field with the Maven RS.3. Now I've got this thing set up for the first field test in my Ruger Precision 22 long rifle. Now as you can see, I also have a Tacticam Shoot through set up on this rig for this testing today. Now I spared you guys the time of watching me mount this thing and zero it in at 50 yards, but I do want to talk a bit about this Tacticam setup. Now I found that these Tacticam shoot through setups work best with second focal plane optics. And what I mean by that is with the first focal plane optics, when you try to get the picture or the image, or in this case, the target in focus downrange, it kind of messes with the focal point of the reticle. So you have to pick a point, you've got to pick a point to get the reticle in focus, and then when you slide this system on, you can no longer adjust your reticle focus with the diopter. So what I've done is I've got this thing set up at a magnification of 13, so it's got a decent amount of clarity for you guys. You can see some of the shooting that I do, but it's also focused enough for me to see the target downrange at 50 yards. So that's just a bit of the caveat with that Tacticam setup. So do not base any of that shoot through footage to the clarity of the glass, because the Tacticam is not a good setup to be evaluating glass clarity. It simply allows you to get some shoot through footage, some recording of some hunts and things of that nature. Now the Tacticam itself shoots good footage, you know, HD or 4K. I just don't feel that the setup is really good through these first focal plane optics because of those focal points. With all that out of the way, I'm going to get to doing some shooting, and then I'm going to get to doing some twisting around of these turrets, banging on this thing some. We're going to see if it holds zero, and we're going to see if it tracks and goes back to zero after doing a bunch of shooting and a whole bunch of twisting on the targets. So let's get at it. Well, all right, I've got 10 of these CCI standard velocity target rounds all set up in the Ruger. So let's send about 3 or 4 down there first, see if we can get a good group going before I get to twisting around on these turrets. All right, let's go look at that first group, see how she did. All right, let's take a peek at the target here. Now, don't mind these holes up top here. Those are from when I was zeroing the scope earlier. I've got a target on the back side and they were blowing through. But this is our little shot group we did here. Not too bad. We're off by about a ½ inch to the left and a ½ inch high. Well, all right, not a bad group. So what we're gonna do now is give these turrets a bunch of twists here. Got the windage one going back and forth a whole bunch here. Something you really wouldn't be doing if you're shooting and or hunting, moving it around like this. All right, gonna get that back on zero. Do the same thing to the elevation turret here. I don't really have anything to beat around on it a whole bunch. But turrets have been spun around a whole bunch. Let's send a few down there and see if it's shooting right in that same spot. I'm going to be aiming at the same point on that target. Hopefully these shots go into that same point. let's go check it out. All right, now the target should have a total of 10 shots near our bullseye here. Now again, disregard these shots. And there we go, we got 10 shots back in the same area. So the Maven RS.3, hey, it held at 0, tracked back where it was supposed to with those 10 shots after twisting around the turrets. All right, guys, as you can tell, it has started to rain out here. I do plan to send 10 more rounds down the range here. I'm gonna turn on the Tacticam and let you guys get some shoot-through footage for these last 10. Now again, don't get too caught up on the lack of quality of the glass through this Tacticam. This is more so you can see the reticle that Maven offers in an actual shooting scenario. So I'm gonna twist these turrets around a bunch more, one more time, send these 10 rounds down there, let you guys check it out. We'll see how this thing does as a whole. Now real quick, let's get to giving these turrets some twisting here. Bunch of solutions and shooting going on all day at the range. Trying to emulate that here. Bunch of dialing here. Get that one back on 0. Now I'm not going to complete the so-called drop test on this Maven RS.3 out here. I feel that's a test that's better done testing out those internals with the optic off of the firearm. That drop test tests your rings, your Picatinny rail, and everything else just as much as the optic. So I like to twist around the turrets a bunch, kind of whack it on it a little bit like this. I'm not really trying to damage it, I'm just trying to see if something's going to jar inside of that thing. So this is my version of a drop test when it's still on the firearm. All right, guys, so there you have it. Hold on. There we go. I have the Maven shirt on. Now, as I alluded to in the first video with this Maven RS.3, Maven sent along a shirt with this optic. And if this thing was going to check out and have a positive review, I'll be sporting the Maven t-shirt. And I'm going to give this optic so far a real positive review. Now, again, I've only got this mounted up on a rimfire 22 long rifle right now, but the optic is passing the test that I'm doing with this. Now, we didn't do that drop test or a recoil test. That's going to come next. But this optic is zeroed up just perfect like it should. When I was originally moving the shots around, as I spun the turrets, the shots walked in right where I needed them to go. And as you guys seen, as I spun these turrets around a whole bunch, smacked it around a little bit, but just really kind of spun the turrets around more abusive than you generally would do. The shots went right back to where they should go. So the Maven RS.3 is checking out really, really good so far. I'm impressed with the glass. I'm impressed with the turrets, the tracking, everything about it. So hey, with that, check back real soon. Got another field test coming up with this Maven RS.3. Going to be mounting it up on a 6.5 Creedmoor, taking it out, taking this hunting scope out and actually doing some hunting with it. So hey, check back soon. And as always, keep on shooting. See you soon.